Hey friends, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you are new here, I am Bria and I create various forms of content here on YouTube. If you are returning, if you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so much for clicking on this video and still keeping up with my channel. Today's video is just going to be a little bit different from the typical content that I make. This video is going to be strictly about professional development for me and some of the tools that I use for my professional development. This is going to basically be my professional network that I share with you guys. And for those of you who do not know, I have been a media professional for 5 years. And I have worked in a lot of different roles in the media industry, from news to marketing and advertising. So if any of you are interested in launching your career in journalism, launching your career in advertising, or even another form of media like PR, this video is going to just run down a list of different resources and tools that I have used to help me launch my career. So just for some background, currently I am a media buyer for an ad tech company. And so ad tech is advertising technology. And what I do is I help our clients strategize when it comes to their advertising campaigns. So giving them recommendations and giving them strategies to help them reach their targeted audiences. And I've been doing that for about 2 years now. I'm going to talk about some of the tools that I have leveraged when it comes to furthering my career. And I'm going to start with my education. So for some background, I attended Fayetteville State University, and at Fayetteville State, I majored in communications. So I have a bachelor's degree in communications, and in a lot of my courses, it was very diverse. So it wasn't just strictly like talking about interpersonal communications or strategic communications, but I also had some journalism courses. I had a PR course, some speech courses. So it was a lot of different courses that I took. And at the time I wanted to be a journalist. I knew that. I knew I wanted to be a news reporter. That was always my goal. My ultimate goal was to be a news anchor. And so those courses really helped to create not just someone who had a goal of journalism, but to create a well-rounded individual who could last throughout any communications role or any communications job. So I also am obtaining my master's degree in strategic communications at University of Maryland Global Campus. And so this program is very project-based. It really gives you a hands-on experience. Taking things a step further as far as communications management, which is currently one of the classes that I'm in now. And it's really building in me someone who will be able to manage communication professionals myself, being able to develop strategic plans for different clients, for a company, to help determine, communications resources, just such as this. And so that is a little bit of background about my education. So the next thing I want to share with you guys are some professional organizations that I have been affiliated with and I am affiliated with. And professional organizations are very important because that is one resource when it comes to networking. So going to conferences, getting access to events to meet other professionals in your industry or your preferred industry, and being able to have access to a job portal to see what companies are hiring for roles in your industry. And so the very first professional organization that I ever joined was National Association of Black Journalists, which is also known as NABJ. And I give all credit to NABJ because that is what helped me to open up the door to networking opportunities to help me land my very first job. I would encourage any student to become a student member of NABJ and to also not just be a student member, but to connect with professional members, because these are the people who are going to help open doors for you and give you access to jobs that they know, introduce you to people that they know who are hiring for jobs. Another organization that I'm currently a part of, I am a member of Black Girls in Media. And if you do not know, Black Girls in Media is a network of Black women who are in the media industry from news to PR to entertainment. And the cool thing about Black Girls in Media, it was started by, if you do not know her on Instagram, is Tosh J. Mack. And she started Black Girls in Media, you know, because she herself had just graduated and she was looking for a job. And so she not only thought about herself, she thought about, you know, tons of women who are out here, you know, looking for a job, you know, tons of Black women who are out here looking for a job. And when I say it is so hard to navigate this industry, it's not easy. But one of the things she created was a resource for us. And so I encourage any Black woman who, you know, is a student that wants to be in the media industry to definitely look at Black Girls in Media. You know, the membership is not expensive. And one of the things I appreciate about Black Girls in Media, it is very informal in a good way. And it is also a very intimate organization. And so if you just want to introduce yourself, you know, there's a community board for you to do that on. There's, you know, for you to ask questions if you have a question, and no, you won't feel intimidated. And I'm not saying you feel intimidated in other professional organizations, but a lot of the times in other professional organizations, it's hard to really let your guard down, and you don't, you know, especially coming in as a student or coming in as someone who's new in the industry, you may easily feel a little fearful or a little intimidated. But I feel like Black Girls in Media is so intimate to where you feel comfortable and you don't have a problem asking a question if you're, you know, searching to not only ask a question about the industry, but if you are in need of someone, say if you have a small PR firm that you're trying to get off the ground, if you need someone to help with graphic design, you can always ask and there's somebody available. And so I really do encourage any woman, Black woman who is interested to join Black Girls in Media if you are interested in the media industry. The other thing I want to talk about are books or publications. I have mostly books. I've read different publications and had different resources, but I think the books are really key. So one of the books that I feel like is important, especially for anybody who's in journalism or PR or just some form of, you know, space that requires you to write a lot, is this AP style book and this AP style book guide. Honestly, I mean, you can also find this online. You don't have to have the book. I feel like I bought the book. I've had this book for years, and it has literally everything in here that you can imagine when it comes to following the AP style guide. This is a really good book to have, especially if you're a journalist, because that's honestly what you're going to be using. You're going to be writing AP style. This is definitely an important tool, not just for journalists, but for people who work in PR or media relations, because you're going to constantly be writing press releases, fact sheets, the list goes on. So having the AP style book is a very important resource. The last one I had is honestly not just for communications professionals. This is for anybody, but I got this book when I started my very first job. This is the 5-Second Rule book, and this is a book by Mel Robbins, and this book is for anybody. And I know I've struggled with this a lot. Sometimes I still struggle with this. Sometimes I do struggle with productivity and really confidence building, and I feel like this book helps anyone who feels like they lack a little bit of confidence right now in the workplace, and also anyone who is interested in building productivity. And finally, the last set of resources that I want to share with you all are just resources that I've used in the workplace, even personally. Like, I use these resources just in my personal life, and that is Canva. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people use this, so I don't even feel like I'm really like introducing anybody to anything that's not unknown. But if you don't even have to be a person that's into graphics or into design to use Canva, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a design girl. I feel like there are people in the communications industry or media industry, not even people in the industry, just people in general who got like the eye. They have the eye for design, and that is honestly not me. I try to get in there and just try some things out, but I will say that it is a tool that I have used in the workplace, especially as a reporter, because a lot of the times you want to try different things, especially when you're doing stories that require you to convey heavy pieces of information, so data points and, you know, facts that a lot of people just would not really be able to understand. As a journalist, you have to take the most complex or complicated subjects and turn it into something that everyone is able to understand. And so Canva has been that resource for me. Not in this current role, but in previous roles, I've also used Canva when it comes to my clients. So certain clients may need logos or different types of graphics. Canva is a great tool to be able to create those. Another tool is the Adobe Creative Suite. So if you are an Adobe user, I haven't used Adobe in a while, but I've used it in the past. I've used it for some of my videos here on YouTube. You get a variety of things. You get Adobe InDesign, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all of these things. So it's, you know, a creative suite for anything that you want to use for whatever you want to use it for. So it's not just one specific thing. And lastly, iMovie. I know, listen, I was never a big fan of iMovie. I'm an Apple girl. I have all Apple products. I have everything, but I was never like the biggest fan of iMovie. I was using Adobe for the longest, or any other video editing software that I could get my hands on. But I don't want to discourage anybody from using iMovie, because as of recently, I've been using it a lot more, and it's not that bad. It is, you know, one that you can still use, especially that you get it for free if you have an Apple product. So it's not something you have to pay an expensive price or membership for. But that is it for my professional network. I will link all of these tools in the description box below. And I thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, make sure you share this video. And I want to thank you again for watching. And comment below, what are some of your professional networks? What are some of the things that you use? Even if you aren't a communication professional, what tools do you use for your industry that you are in? Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys for watching this video.